Hi guys, this is Melanie with Divine Creations by Melanie. Welcome to my channel. If you like the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. In this video, we'll be doing a Deco Mesh Halloween wreath. Some things that you'll need are a black wreath frame, 10-inch Deco Mesh, wired ribbons, a sign, pipe cleaners. Of course, you'll need scissors. You could possibly need some hot glue, things like that. That is a black wreath form that I got from At Home, either last year or the year before. So that is what we're going to be putting our Deco Mesh on. That is a 10-inch Deco Mesh. That's a black and white stripe. It has a foil in it, so it has a little bit of a shimmer, which I think you can kind of see there on camera. So those have been cut into strips that are approximately 16 to 18 inches. The wired ribbons we'll be using are a mixture of 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch. And we will be making ribbon strips to go around the wreath. We'll also be making a bow on this video. So those are the 3 ribbons that I'm using for this this design. That is an MDF sign. That is lightweight. I attach pipe cleaners to the back of it, and that is how we will attach it to our wreath frame. So we're going to add the Deco Mesh. It is, like I said, cut in strips, so you'll curl in the ends and gather in the middle. We call this a cruffle. So what you'll do is just place your mesh down and twist 2 of the ties like a bread tie. Give it 2 or 3 twists to hold it on. And we're going to go all the way around the wreath, adding the mesh. I go around the outside first. And then here in a little bit, I go around and fill in the inside. Again, this is more like a pine wreath base. It's not an actual, what we would call a work wreath that just has a certain number of ties. So this is more like the pine evergreens you would see at Christmas, only this one is black. So I can't tell you an exact number of the cruffles that I cut. You'll just cut enough to fill in your wreath. And a wreath of this size shouldn't take more than the 1 roll of mesh. So this video is actually just a sped up and cut down version of a Facebook Live, which is why you'll see me talking to people on the camera. My son tried to edit this down for me. We could have cut some more of this out, but we will do better next time. Like I said, I think I'm getting ready to finish the outside here. Or yeah, we're putting it on the inside. So I'm just going to fill in the middle and go around that, what we would call in a ring if we were actually doing a work wreath. And as soon as we get done with the mesh, we will start cutting the ribbons on here. I do suggest that you use wired ribbon. If you use non-wired ribbon, your ribbon strips and tails won't have any structure to them. They'll just kind of hang down, and they won't stay in the place that you want them to. So if you get some ribbon that has a really good wire, you can manipulate it however you want and it'll keep its shape. So I do always use wired ribbons on my wreaths. So there is the wreath with all the mesh on it, which looks so pretty. And now I'm starting to cut the ribbon strips. That is a 13-inch ribbon tail board. So that just makes it easier for you to and faster to cut your ribbons. So I cut some ribbons 13 inches, and then I'm going to dovetail the ends there. So you fold your ribbon in half and you cut at an angle from the folded side down to the wired side, and it will give you the V-cut on the ends. So I do that to all of those ribbons. And that 2.5 inch ghost print ribbon is super cute, and it will be layered with this 1.5 inch black and white polka dot. You can, on the 1.5 inch ribbons, just cut them at an angle, at a slant. You don't have to do the dovetail if you don't want to. Sometimes I do that. It is quicker to just cut them at a slant. So again, this is where we could have cut some of this out. So if you're watching this and you don't want to watch all this ribbon being cut, just zoom forward a little bit and you will get to the part where we get done with the ribbons. So here's what I was talking about, doing the ribbon strips, layering them. So I layer the 1.5 inch polka dot on top of the 2.5 inch ghost print. I untwist the twist ties that I've tied my mesh in with, put the ribbon down, and then twist it back. That's how I like to do it. Some people do not untwist the twist ties. They just add it and twist on top. I like to untwist, lay the ribbon down, and twist it back. That's just my own personal preference. It's the way I've always done it since I started making wreaths. So we are going to put these ribbon strips all the way around the bottom. You'll just try to space them out evenly. And once you tie them in, you'll kind of crisscross them and make an X so that you have one type of ribbon going up on one side, down on the other, and the opposite ribbon going the other directions. So it'll look like an X. So that way you can see the patterns on both of the ribbons. So again, I'm going to do this all the way around that bottom. And then it will skip and we'll start making a bow. I will do a video just specifically making a bow in regular time because this one is super fast and it's hard to kind of explain what I'm doing when the bow making starts. But I use an easy bow maker to make my bows. It just helps me out holding the ribbons. I'm not great at making a hand bow. I can do it, I just don't do it very often. So there I'm showing you the wreath with all the ribbons around the bottom part. Now here's where we're making our bow. So again, that is an easy bow maker. You can get that probably on Amazon. You can get it from Deco Exchange. Just Google easy bow maker and I'm sure you can find a place to buy it if you would like to. I think now it's around $20. So I'm making what we call a funky bow on this, so we can use all of our different ribbons and patterns. And a funky bow basically is where you have tails and loops going both up and down. It looks very whimsical, it's very fun. If you want to use lots of patterns and colors, it's a great way to do that. And so basically you measure out a tail that you want, give your ribbon a twist, make your loop, twist again, do your loop on the other side, and then scrunch down and cut off your tail. Dovetail the ends of your ribbons and then just layer. So do it again with your next ribbon you want to use, that same process. And you can do as many layers or as few as you want. This is, like I said, just again another really fun, easy way to make a bow that's super cute. And so when you're done with all of your layers, you can use a zip tie or a pipe cleaner to tie all of your ribbons together. I generally use a zip tie. As you can see right there, I'm using a zip tie. So you'll kind of use your zip tie. Don't tighten it all the way. I'm sorry, that was a horrible way to say that. Don't tighten your zip tie all the way down until you have fluffed your bow out a little bit and gotten all your loops and tails in the position you want them. Once you do that, then you will use another pipe cleaner or zip tie to slide through the one that's there going the opposite direction, and that's what you will actually use to attach it to the wreath frame. Once you have that attachment pipe cleaner or zip tie in, then you tighten it down, and then you will use that one to actually tie it down to the wreath frame. So here I'm making sure that I get it tied down to the actual wire frame so that it won't move around and is securely attached. So if you're using a pipe cleaner, you just feed it down through the mesh and twist the pipe cleaner off around the wire wreath frame. Same thing for a zip tie, just make sure you're attaching it to the frame itself. Now we're attaching the sign here. So I have attached pipe cleaners on the back of the sign. I do believe on this one I stapled them Just make sure if you're going to staple them that you have staples that are not too long, or they will go through the front of your sign. You can also use the cable tie mounts, and with this, they have the sticky back on them, and then use a little bit of super glue or something as well. You can use those and attach your pipe cleaner using those, and that way you won't have to staple them. So there we just attached our sign, a pipe cleaner at the top, a pipe cleaner at the bottom. Those MDF signs are very lightweight. And then I'm just adjusting my bow. So we have our bow on and our sign. Now I am just going back through and I am adding in some one loop bows, as I call them. So you basically, that's the really cute Halloween print ribbon that I'm adding in, and it is a 1.5 inch that has a chenille edge on it. So again, another fun touch to that ribbon, makes it a little more whimsical. And so what you do to make the one loop bows is, as you'll see, I'm just making a little tail, then I make a loop, twist that ribbon back so the right side of the ribbon is facing up, and cut the tail off. I normally have one tail a little shorter than the other, and then I just go back and put it back in the same places that I have put my ribbon strips. So this is just another easy, inexpensive way to add another texture, another color, another pattern to your wreath. And you can, just make a real fun addition to your wreath that way. And it's a super inexpensive way to kind of give a little something extra to your wreath if you don't want to add a bunch of florals or greenery or ornaments or anything like that. It is the least expensive way you can kind of beef up your wreath, so to speak. So I'm just going around and adding those one loop bows everywhere that I put the ribbon strips. And then, like I said, I don't think it's shown on the video, but I do think later I went and added some black and white ornaments that I had, and also some styrofoam pumpkins. This wreath I was doing all in just a black and white theme. I wanted to keep it that very monochromatic look, and I really love the way this one turned out. And this wreath did sell the year that I made it for the Halloween season. And I do believe that the finished size of this wreath is about 22 to 23 inches across. That apparently I was showing you guys some Deco mesh that was probably from Hobby Lobby. I don't buy much mesh from there, but that I do believe is one kind that I did buy from there. And on that inner portion around the sign and the bow, if you have some space showing up, you'll want to add some ribbon strips and the little one loop bows in there to fill in as well. So again, I apologize for the repetitive portions of the video. Yeah, so you can see there I'm adding those to around the inside. So there's the finished wreath. It's super cute. So I hope to be bringing you more content. So there's a better picture of it where I added the ornaments. So again, if you guys liked the video, please make sure and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.